Today, I want to share with you a simple yet powerful choice that can help support the prevention of stroke and heart attack: warm turmeric water. Before we dive into turmeric's benefits, let's take a moment to face a common reality. Every morning, many people start their day by looking down at a palm full of pills for blood pressure, cholesterol, heart health. And even when they follow their prescriptions faithfully, many still can't shake a lingering question. Is there something more I can do? Is there another way, beyond waiting on lab results and hoping nothing goes wrong? The real fear isn't just sudden chest pain or unexpected numbness. The real fear is loss of control, the loss of independence, the loss of memory, the loss of the ability to care for oneself, something that once felt like a natural part of daily life. And for many, that fear is even greater than the diagnosis itself. That's why more and more medical research is turning its focus to natural interventions that may reduce inflammation, improve circulation, prevent blood clots, and protect blood vessel walls. Among these, turmeric has emerged as one of the most promising natural compounds. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, has been shown to possess strong anti-inflammatory properties, helping reduce chronic inflammation, which is a major contributor to atherosclerosis and the elevated risk of heart attack or stroke. Turmeric has also been found to support healthy lipid levels, improve blood flow, and help stabilize mild blood sugar imbalances, all of which are key to maintaining a strong cardiovascular system. While turmeric is not a drug and cannot replace prescribed treatments, adding a cup of warm turmeric water to your morning routine, especially on an empty stomach, can serve as a small yet sustainable way to support your body. It may help calm inflammation, keep blood vessels resilient, and slow down the age-related wear and tear on your vascular system. Just a few minutes each morning can give your body a natural advantage. It's not a miracle, but it is a proactive choice, a way to reclaim a sense of control, something we all deserve at any stage of life.
Benefit number 1, it calms inflammation. I know the feeling. You wake up in the morning, and before your feet even hit the floor, you feel it. That dull ache in your back, the stiffness in your knees, the fingers that don't want to close into a fist. We have a simple name for it: getting old. We accept it as a non-negotiable part of life, something to be endured, maybe with a pain pill to get the day started. But I have to tell you, it's not just getting old. I've sat with too many patients, gardeners, walkers, grandmothers who just want to be able to pick up their grandkids without wincing in pain. They come to me for their aching joints, but when we run their blood work, we find something far more alarming. The inflammatory markers in their body are through the roof. That ache is just the symptom on the surface. The real problem, the real enemy, is silently attacking their very own blood vessels from the inside out. Here's why. What we call aches and pains is really a sign of something called chronic inflammation. Think of it like a low-grade fire smoldering throughout your body, day after day. That fire isn't just causing pain in your joints, it's also cooking and damaging the delicate lining of your arteries, causing them to become stressed, stiff, and primed for dangerous plaque to form. That fire is one of the root causes of high blood pressure, heart disease, and even stroke. Now imagine taking a warm glass of turmeric water before you start your day. The active compound in turmeric, called curcumin, isn't a painkiller. It's a firefighter. It goes directly to the source of that smoldering fire and helps to naturally put it out. As that fire calms down, your blood vessels get a chance to breathe. They become more flexible, more supple. This isn't just about easing your joint pain. It's about bringing a sense of calm back to the very vessels that keep you alive.
Benefit number 2, it helps clean out the dangerous plaque in your arteries. You're sitting in the doctor's office, and he points to a number on your lab results, your bad cholesterol. It can make you feel like you just got a bad grade on your health report card, and you start worrying about everything you eat, from a steak dinner to the eggs you had for breakfast. I had a patient a robust man who came to see me because of some slight chest tightness when he was out gardening. We did an angiogram, and he was shocked to see that one of his main arteries was over 70% blocked. He said, "How is that possible? I feel perfectly fine." That's the sinister nature of this plaque. It builds in silence. Here's how it happens. Think of your arteries as highways. Inflammation and high blood pressure create little cracks and potholes on the inner surface of that road. That's the damaged lining. The bad cholesterol in your blood, like tar, loves to stick to those rough patches. Over time, it builds up, creating bigger and bigger speed bumps that make it harder for blood to get through. Curcumin from turmeric acts like a professional cleanup crew. It not only helps prevent more of that gunk from sticking, but it also supports your liver in processing and clearing out the plaque that's already there. It helps keep your body's most important pipelines clear so that blood can flow freely, delivering oxygen and life to every part of you.
Benefit number 3. This is something very few people talk about, but it is incredibly important. Inside every single one of your blood vessels is an ultra-thin, one-cell thick lining called the endothelium. Think of it like the smooth silk lining inside a beautiful coat. When it's healthy, blood just glides right through effortlessly. But with age, with high blood pressure, with inflammation, that silk lining can get damaged. It becomes rough and coarse, more like a piece of sandpaper. Not only does this make it harder for blood to flow, but it's also the perfect surface for cholesterol plaque to grab onto and start building up. Now this is one of the most incredible findings about turmeric. Curcumin has been shown to significantly improve the function of this endothelium. It's like you're repairing and polishing that silk lining from the inside. This doesn't just help regulate blood pressure better, it helps prevent one of the very first steps in the formation of plaque. When I explained these 3 things to Frank, for the first time, I saw a flicker of hope in his eyes. He no longer saw himself as just a victim waiting for the ice to crack. He was starting to understand that heart health isn't an on-off switch. It's a system. And here are the next 3 ways that warm glass of turmeric water can directly support that system.
Benefit number 4. It helps relax your blood vessels to lower blood pressure. Every day, you see that number on the blood pressure cuff. But what does that number really mean? It's the amount of pressure your blood is putting on your artery walls. When your blood vessels are tight or stiff, your heart has to pump much harder to push the blood through. That pressure goes up. This is one of the most well-studied effects of curcumin. It has been shown to have the ability to help relax the walls of the blood vessels. When the vessel walls are relaxed, their diameter opens up just a bit. With more room, the blood can flow more easily. As a result, your heart doesn't have to work so hard, and the pressure inside those vessels gets a chance to come down. This isn't a quick fix, but a steady, daily support that eases the burden on the most important muscle in your body. That's what Frank cared about most, easing the strain on his heart.
Benefit number 3. This is something very few people talk about, but it is incredibly important. Inside every single one of your blood vessels is an ultra-thin, one-cell thick lining called the endothelium. Think of it like the smooth silk lining inside a beautiful coat. When it's healthy, blood just glides right through, effortlessly. But with age, with high blood pressure, with inflammation, that silk lining can get damaged. It becomes rough and coarse, more like a piece of sandpaper. Not only does this make it harder for blood to flow, but it's also the perfect surface for cholesterol plaque to grab onto and start building up. Now, this is one of the most incredible findings about turmeric. Curcumin has been shown to significantly improve the function of this endothelium. It's like you're repairing and polishing that silk lining from the inside. This doesn't just help regulate blood pressure better, It helps prevent one of the very first steps in the formation of plaque. When I explained these 3 things to Frank, for the first time, I saw a flicker of hope in his eyes. He no longer saw himself as just a victim waiting for the ice to crack. He was starting to understand that heart health isn't an on-off switch. It's a system. And here are the next 3 ways that warm glass of turmeric water can directly support that system.
Benefit number 6. It protects your heart and blood vessel cells from oxidative damage. You've probably heard the word antioxidants thrown around a lot. But what does it actually mean for your heart? Every single day, your body produces unstable molecules called free radicals. They're a natural byproduct of just being alive, but they can cause damage to healthy cells. This damaging process is called oxidation. It's this very oxidation that contributes to the cells in your heart and blood vessels aging, becoming weaker, and functioning less efficiently over time. Turmeric is incredibly rich in powerful antioxidants. These compounds have the ability to neutralize those free radicals before they can do their damage. Think of it this way. This isn't about fixing a problem that's already there. This is protection at the cellular level. You're helping to shield every single cell in your cardiovascular system from that cumulative daily damage. It's a preventative strategy at the root level, helping to keep your heart and blood vessels younger and healthier as you get older.
Benefit number 7, it becomes a guardian for your brain and your memory. I know the feeling. It starts with the small things, doesn't it? You walk into a room and forget why you went in there. You struggle to recall a familiar actor's name. We often laugh it off, but deep down, there's a creeping fear, a fear that these senior moments will become more and more frequent. And this is a story I have to share. As a doctor, I've seen that the greatest heartbreak isn't a heart that stops, but a mind that fades. I've seen the look in a husband's eyes when his wife of 50 years looks at him like he's a stranger. That pain, it's more than physical. It takes away the very person you are. Here's why this is so connected. Inflammation and harmful protein plaques don't just attack the heart, they attack the brain too. The problem is, the brain has a very strict protective barrier that lets very few things pass through. But one of curcumin's most extraordinary properties is that it's small enough to cross that barrier. It can get inside, helping to clean up those harmful plaques and quiet the inflammation right in your body's command center. Now, imagine a different future. Instead of worrying about what you might forget, think about the feeling of clarity, the confidence to join in on conversations, to tell old stories, and to be as sharp as you've always been. This isn't just about protecting a memory. It's about protecting the person who holds them so you can be there, fully present for the ones you love.
Benefit number 8. It helps you stabilize the battle with blood sugar. Our relationship with food in our later years can get complicated, can't it? A piece of cake isn't just a simple pleasure anymore. It comes with a side of guilt, with a worry about the number on the glucose meter. It turns a meal from a moment of connection into a stressful math problem. But as a doctor, I've seen the silent consequences that few realize. Constantly high blood sugar is like slowly bathing your blood vessels in acid. It makes them brittle, vulnerable, and it dramatically accelerates plaque buildup. A patient of mine once said, "I thought I had it under control until my doctor told me my diabetes was doubling the speed of my heart disease." Here's why. As we get older, our body's cells can become resistant to insulin, the hormone that's supposed to shuttle sugar out of the blood and into the cells for energy. When the cells resist, that sugar gets stuck in the bloodstream, where it causes damage. Curcumin has been shown to help improve the cell's sensitivity to insulin. It's like you're oiling a stuck lock, helping the cellular doors open more easily to welcome the sugar in.
Imagine a different feeling when you sit down to eat. A feeling of balance. It's not about getting a free pass to eat whatever you want, but about the feeling that you're working with your body, not against it. Benefit number 9. It supports the unsung hero, your liver. Let's be honest, most of us have one of those weekly pill organizers, don't we? A pill for the blood pressure, a pill for cholesterol, a pill for the joints. I get it. That's the reality of managing our health. But I've seen too many people forget one thing. Every single one of those pills, after it does its job, has to be processed by one organ, and that is your liver. I think of the liver as the unsung hero, working tirelessly in the engine room of your body to filter everything. It never complains, until one day it gets overwhelmed. Here's why that's dangerous. When your liver is under strain, its ability to process fats and toxins slows down. This can lead to fat building up in the liver and can actually raise your cholesterol levels, putting even more strain back on your heart. Curcumin helps support the liver in 2 ways. It helps protect the liver cells from oxidative damage, and it helps promote the flow of bile. Think of that warm glass of turmeric water in the morning. It's not just an act for your heart. It's a thank you, a gesture of support for the organ that's working the hardest to keep you safe.
Benefit number 10. It gives you deeper sleep, your body's most precious healing time. I can't count the number of times a patient has said to me, "Doctor, I just can't seem to stay asleep." I understand the exhaustion and the frustration of waking up at 3 a.m. with your mind racing. We tend to think that a bad night's sleep just makes us tired the next day. I have to tell you the truth. For your heart, sleep isn't downtime, it's repair time. It's when your blood pressure naturally lowers, your heart rate slows, and your cells heal the minor damage from the day. When you don't get that deep, restorative sleep, you are robbing your heart of its most critical repair shift. Here's why. A lack of sleep increases stress hormones like cortisol, which can raise blood pressure and inflammation. Your heart, instead of recovering, stays in a state of stress all night long. Now, picture this. Imagine a warm glass of turmeric water before you go to bed. Its calming and anti-inflammatory properties can help ease you into a deeper, more peaceful sleep. Imagine the feeling of waking up, not just rested, but with a deep sense of peace, knowing that while you slept, your body was truly doing its healing work. That's not just a good night's sleep. That is the gift of restoration you give your heart night after night. So, how do we bring this simple practice into our own lives, safely and effectively? It's actually very simple. You can start with the ground turmeric you have right in your spice cabinet. Just take a small teaspoon, put it in a mug of warm water, stir it well, and enjoy. If you prefer, you can also use fresh turmeric root. All you need is a small piece, about an inch long, thinly sliced or crushed, and steep it in hot water just like you would with tea. And here's a little tip, add a tiny pinch of black pepper, just a little bit. In black pepper, there's a compound called piperine, and it has the incredible ability to boost the absorption of curcumin in your body.
Now, I know the most important question that's on your mind, the question you should be asking. Doctor, is this safe for me? Will it interfere with the medications I'm already taking? And my answer, in all sincerity, is this. This is a conversation, not a prescription. This golden glass of turmeric water is a support. It is not a replacement. Before you start any new routine, no matter how natural it is, please do the most important thing. Talk to your doctor. Let them know what you're considering. They are your partner in your health journey, and they need to know everything so they can help you in the best way possible. And that brings me back to Frank. He came back to my office a few months later. When he walked in, something was different. He stood a little taller. The worry in his eyes had softened. His numbers had improved, his blood pressure was more stable, and we were even able to lower the dose of one of his cholesterol medications. But that's not what impressed me the most. He sat down and said to me, "Doc, for years I felt like I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop, but it's different now." He told me that every morning when he stirred his glass of turmeric water, he didn't think of it as medicine. He thought of it as a small act of taking back control. It's like I'm telling my body, "Hey, we're in this together. I'm here and I'm fighting." It's my little victory every day. Then he took out his phone and he showed me a picture. It was him and his granddaughter practicing their dance in the living room. He looked at me with a smile I'd never seen before, a smile without any strain. And he said, "I'm gonna make it to that wedding, Doc. I know I will." In that moment, I didn't see a patient. I saw a firefighter who had found his fire again. So today, I'm not asking you to change your entire life. I'm simply inviting you to start one simple thing, just one. Perhaps tomorrow morning, you'll try a warm glass of water. Your health is precious. Your future has so many dances left to be danced. For 60, 70, 80 years, your heart has beaten faithfully for you through every joy, every sorrow, without ever asking for anything in return. Perhaps now, it's time we gave a little something back. Take good care. Be sure to watch our other videos on the warning signs of a stroke and the steps you can take to prevent one right here on our channel.